Hello there, welcome to Talking Music. So I've had a delivery today, and well, I'm not going to say any more than that until I can get in it. It's very well sealed. Hope you're all okay. But this is an upgrade, if you like. So this is an upgrade. So I'm just going to get into it now. There it is. Ho 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 ho. So this is the Now Yearbook 1983 special edition. Now, I'd previously purchased the standard edition, but I've never had one of these special editions before. So I got it off eBay, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to get this and kind of sell off my old one and kind of upgrade. So this, I'm just going to open up now. Oh, do you know what? This just makes me want to get the other ones. This is really hard because they're obviously a lot more money, but they look fantastic. Oh, my friend Neil was watching. Oh God, Neil, this is brilliant. Oh, I just wish I got the other ones now, and I love the fact that they've all got a proper kind of like they just look the part inside. So that's disc one and disc two there. As I say, this one was sealed. They were an offer on Amazon and HMV towards the end of September. They've gone up in price again now, but look at this. Absolutely fantastic. Hello there, welcome to Talking Music. And so I thought I'm going to start going through the Now Yearbook releases in the order that they were released. Let's go back to the first one, Now Yearbook 1983. And it is an absolute cracker. I had done a review for this before, but this one's going to go into more detail where the songs got up to as well. So this was originally released on June the 25th, 2021. Have they really been going 3 years? I mean, we've had a lot of releases in that time, but this was the first, and we just did not know what was going to come. So I suppose it was an obvious choice, 83, the year that the Now That's What I Call Music came out. But well, look what's just turned up off Amazon. So here it is, the 4 CD Now Yearbook 83. I didn't go for the one with the booklet, but yeah, plenty of tracks to have a listen to. I'll start listening to it afterwards. Anyway, let's go through this one first. So it starts off with Wham, Club Tropicana, a great opener, released on July the 30th, 1983. It reached number 4 and spent 11 weeks in the charts. We then got Eurythmics, of course, Annie Lennox, Dave Stewart, Sweet Dreams Are Made of This, released on February the 12th, 1983. Reached number 2, spent 14 weeks in the charts. We then got Duran Duran, Is There Something I Should Know, released March the 26th, 1983. Number 1 for 2 weeks. 9 weeks in the charts, and this is the first on the track listing that was originally on Now One. Culture Club next, Karma Chameleon, also on Now One, released September the 17th, 1983. Number 1 for 6 weeks, 21 weeks in the charts. Kajagoogoo next, Too Shy, their debut chart hit, released January the 22nd, 1983. Number 1 for 2 weeks and spent 13 weeks in the charts. But again, you can see it's such a consistent first disc, just hit after hit. Spandau Ballet, True, a song that didn't appear on Now One, released April the 23rd, 1983, number 1 for 4 weeks, 15 weeks in the charts. We then got track 7, Paul Young, Wherever I Lay My Hat, That's My Home, debut chart hit for Paul Young, released June the 11th, 1983, number 1 for 3 weeks and spent 16 weeks in the charts. Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers next with Islands in the Stream. Released November the 12th, 1983. Reached number 7. Spent 15 weeks in the charts. Again, cracking tune. Bonnie Tyler, Total Eclipse of the Heart. Released February the 19th, 1983. Number 1 for 2 weeks. 16 weeks in the charts. Elton John, I'm Still Standing. Released July the 30th, 1983. Reached number 4. 11 weeks in the charts. We've had a lot of Elton John songs in the yearbooks that's been released over the last 3 years. This was the first. Billy Joel, Uptown Girl next, released October the 8th, 1983. Number 1 for 5 weeks, 18 weeks in the charts. Electric Light Orchestra, Rock and Roll is King, released June the 18th, 1983. Reached number 13 and spent 9 weeks in the charts. Madness, Wings of a Dove, released August the 20th, 1983. reached number 2, spent 11 weeks in the charts. Great tune though. The Bell Stars, another classic. Sign of the Times, love that one. Released January the 15th, 1983, reached number 3, spent 11 weeks in the charts. Bananarama next, Cruel Summer, released July the 9th, 1983, reached number 8, 10 weeks in the charts. Men at Work, Down Under, released January the 8th, 1983, number 1 for 3 weeks and 12 weeks in the charts. One of my favourites off this one is next, Joan Armatrading, Drop the Pilot, released February the 19th, 1983, reached number 11, 10 weeks in the charts, but again, absolutely love this. Nick Hayward, Whistle Down the Wind, debut solo chart hit, released on March the 19th, 1983, reached number 13, spent 8 weeks in the charts. Great tune. Style Council, Long Hot Summer, released August the 13th, 1983, reached number 3, spent 9 weeks in the charts. Tracy Ullman next, They Don't Know, released September the 24th, 1983, reached number 2, spent 11 weeks in the charts. Again, I absolutely love this one. UB40, Red Red Wine, released August the 20th, 1983, number 1 for 3 weeks, 15 weeks in the charts, and that concludes what I think is a very impressive first disc. You mentioned over Now One, and obviously I know you've been collecting Now One, up to 10 and on CD, but yeah, you certainly more. More I mean, you probably have a lot of these already, though, don't you?
Yes, but equally at the same time, there's a lot of stuff that isn't necessarily the big hits for the bands. So CD4 of Now Yearbook 83, you've got Duran Duran, Union the Snake. Not one of the massive hits.
No, it was great. I love that song.
It was a great
single. I love that song.
But for 1983, it's not the Reflex, which may not appear on there.
No.
There's lots of different styles as well.
There is.
So you've got stuff like Mighty Wah, Story of the Blues. You've then got Joe Cocker and Jennifer Warnes, Up Where We Belong.
So, 3 discs to go. Disc 2. Starts off with Irene Cara, Flashdance, What a Feeling, released June the 4th, 1983. Reached number 2, 14 weeks in the charts, from the film with the same name, of course. Lionel Richie, All Night Long, released October the 1st, 1983. Reached number 2 again, 16 weeks in the charts. We then got another song from Now One, Casey and the Sunshine Band, Give It Up, released July the 16th, 1983, number 1 for 3 weeks, 14 weeks in the charts. Tina Turner, Let's Stay Together, released November the 19th, 1983, reached number 6 and spent 13 weeks in the charts. Donna Summer, She Works Hard for the Money, released June the 18th, 1983, reached just number 25, spent 8 weeks in the charts. Great tune. I think it might be an edit that's on the yearbook. I think there's a longer version out there, but it's still a great tune. Laura Branigan, Gloria, debut chart hit, released December the 18th, 1982, but of course it was still in the charts in 1983. It reached number 6 and spent 13 weeks in the charts. Freeze, another classic, IOU, released June the 18th, 1983, reached number 2 and spent 15 weeks in the charts. We've then got Rocksteady Crew, Hey You. The Rocksteady Crew, released October the 1st, 1983, reached number 6 and spent 13 weeks in the charts. Malcolm McLaren next with Double Dutch, released July the 2nd, 1983, reached number 3, spent 13 weeks in the charts. Joe Jackson, absolutely love this one, Stepping Out, released January the 8th, 1983, reached number 6 and spent 8 weeks in the charts. Ryan Paris, Dolce Vita, another of my absolute favourites from the 80s, released August the 27th, 1983, reached number 5 and spent 11 weeks in the charts. Forest, track 12, Rock the Boat, debut chart hit, released February the 26th, 1983, reached number 4 and spent 10 weeks in the charts. Modern Romance, High Life, I love a bit of Modern Romance, released February the 26th, 1983, reached number 8 and spent 8 weeks in the charts. Track 14 is Shalimar, Dead Giveaway, released June the 11th, 1983, reached number 8 and spent 10 weeks in the charts. Next is Luther Vandross, Never Too Much, debut chart hit for Luther Vandross, released February the 12th, 1983. Can you believe this? It only reached number 44 in the charts. 7 weeks in the charts. It gets a lot of radio airplay still, and it only got to number 44. We then got Billy Griffin, Hold Me Tighter in the Rain. Debut chart hit, released January the 8th, 1983. Reached number 17 and spent 9 weeks in the charts. Mary Jane Girls, All Night Long, again, one I wasn't too familiar with. Released June the 25th, 1983, reached number 13 and spent 9 weeks in the charts. Dionne Warwick, All the Love in the World, released December the 11th, 1982, reached number 10 but spent 10 weeks in the charts, so it was definitely in the charts in early 1983. Joel Cocker and Jennifer Warnes, Up Where We Belong, from An Officer and a Gentleman soundtrack, released January the 15th, 1983. Reached number 7 and spent 13 weeks in the charts. It was re-released in December 1989, but it only reached number 92 then. And disc 2 concludes with Roberta Flack and Peabo Bryson with Tonight I Celebrate My Love, which I love that as well. Released August the 13th, 1983, reached number 2 and spent 14 weeks in the charts. I think I need another bit of my brew. On to disc 3. So disc 3 starts with New Order, Blue Monday, released March the 19th, 1983, reached number 9, wait for this, 74 weeks in the UK charts to date. That is unbelievable. We then got Heaven 17, Temptation, released on April the 16th, 1983, reached number 2 and spent 13 weeks in the charts. Human League, Keep Feeling Fascination, released April the 23rd, 1983, reached number 2, 9 weeks in the charts. Howard Jones, New Song, a debut chart hit for Howard Jones, released September the 3rd, 1983, reached number 3 and spent 20 weeks in the charts. Tears for Fears, great underrated tune, Pale Shelter, released April the 30th, 1983, reached number 5, 8 weeks in the charts. China Crisis, one I wasn't familiar with, Christian, released January the 15th, 1983, reached number 12, 11 weeks in the charts. U2 next with New Year's Day, released January the 22nd, 1983, reached number 10, 8 weeks in the charts. Probably one of my least favourites off the whole of the box, I'd say. But let me know what your strongest and your weakest are, please do in the comments. Simple Minds, Waterfront, this one also appeared on Now One, released November the 26th, 1983, reached number 13 and spent 10 weeks in the charts. The Stranglers, European Female, released January the 8th, 1983, reached number 9, 6 weeks in the charts. Echo and the Bunnymen, The Cutter, released January the 22nd, 1983, reached number 8 and spent 8 weeks in the charts. Public Image Limited, This Is Not a Love Song, released September the 17th, 1983, reached number 5 and spent 10 weeks in the charts. Again, it's probably not my favourite, but there is something for everyone in this box set, as there has been in the releases that followed. We then got Susie and the Banshees, Dear Prudence, released October the 1st, 1983, reached number 3 and spent 8 weeks in the charts. The Cure, The Love Cats, released October the 29th, 1983, reached number 7, 13 weeks in the charts. We then got Men Without Hats, The Safety Dance, which was released on August the 27th, 1983, reached number 6 and spent 16 weeks in the charts. And there was only one follow-up song that got into the charts, and that was called I Got the Message. That was released in December 1983, but it only reached number 99. We then got ABC. Love a bit of ABC. That was then, but this is now. Released November the 5th, 1983. Reached number 18, 4 weeks in the charts. Fun Boy 3, The Tunnel of Love. Released February the 5th, 1983. Reached number 10 and spent 10 weeks in the charts. Aztec Camera. Love a bit of Aztec Camera. Oblivious. Their debut chart hit. Released February the 5th, 1983. Only reached number 47. 8 weeks in the charts. It was re-released in November 1983, and it reached number 18 and stayed in the charts for 11 weeks. So 2 times in the chart in 1983. We then got The Mighty War, The Story of the Blues, Part 1, released December the 25th, 1982. Reached number 3 and spent 12 weeks in the charts. We then got Carmel, Bad Day. Debut chart hit for Carmel. Released July the 30th, 1983. Reached number 15 and spent 10 weeks in the charts. We then got Elvis Costello and the Attractions with Pills and Soap. Pills and Soap was released as a single under a pseudonym and through Costello's own Imp label, IMP, which reached number 16 in the UK. So there you go, that is disc 3. On to disc 4, and the quality just continues. We've got The Police, Every Breath You Take, released on May the 28th, 1983. Number 1 for 4 weeks and in the charts for 11 weeks. And of course, in 2024, there's going to be a brand new box set coming out, all of Synchronicity with bonus tracks. Toto next, Africa, released January the 29th, 1983, reached number 3 and in the charts for 12 weeks. Robert Plant, Big Log, released July the 16th, 1983, reached number 11, 10 weeks in the charts. Genesis next with Mama, released September the 3rd, 1983, reached number 4 and spent 10 weeks in the charts. We don't get That's All, which appeared on Now One. There's a lot of Phil Collins we don't get in later Now releases as well. Marillion next, Garden Party, released June the 18th, 1983, reached number 16 and spent 7 weeks in the charts. Mike Oldfield, Moonlight Shadow, love this tune. Released May the 14th, 1983, reached number 4 and spent 19 weeks in the charts. Spandau Ballet, their second appearance on the yearbook, Gold, released August the 13th, 1983, reached number 2, 9 weeks in the charts. A second appearance for Duran Duran with Union of the Snake, released October the 29th, 1983, reached number 3 and spent 11 weeks in the charts. Adamant, Puss in Boots, released October the 29th, 1983, reached number 5 and spent 12 weeks in the charts. Track 10, Altered Images, Don't Talk to Me About Love, released March the 19th, 1983, reached number 7, spent 8 weeks in the charts. Great tune. Marilyn, Calling Your Name, released November the 5th, 1983, reached number 4, 12 weeks in the charts. We then got Hazy Fantasy, Shiny Shiny, absolutely love this one. Released January the 15th, 1983, reached number 16 and spent 11 weeks in the charts. Toya, Rebel Rum, released September the 24th, 1983, reached number 24 and spent 5 weeks in the charts. We then got one of my whole favourites off the whole 4 discs, the Lotus Eaters, the First Picture of You. The debut chart hit for the Lotus Eaters. It was released on July the 2nd, 1983, reached number 15 and spent 12 weeks in the charts. Thompson Twins next with Hold Me Now, released November the 19th, 1983, reached number 4 and spent 15 weeks in the charts. Paul Young with his second appearance on the yearbook then with Love of the Common People, released November the 19th, 1983, reached number 2, 13 weeks in the charts. Culture Club, Victims, which originally was the last song Now One, released December the 10th, 1983, reached number 3 and spent 11 weeks in the charts. We then begin a tradition on the yearbooks which seems to have followed because we get the Christmas songs at the end of the last disc. So track 18 is the Flying Pickets with Only You, released November the 26th, 1983, number 1 for 5 weeks and spent 12 weeks in the charts. We then got the final track is The Pretenders, 2,000 Miles, another festive tune, released November the 26th, 1983, same day as the Flying Pickets, reached number 15 and has had 38 weeks in the charts to date. So there you go. It is a really strong yearbook that I go back to continuously. It really is a classic. I'm just going to show you another peep inside though. So if you're not familiar with the hardback books, I am really getting to enjoy these on my shelf. So again, trivia notes on each track with pictures and sometimes the single covers. I'll just show you a couple of pages there. So there's another one there for you. They are well worth getting if perhaps you've got the standard editions. And I have some of the standard editions still, but I have been slowly upgrading to these. And then at the back, there is the Now Yearbook 1983 quiz as well. So again, you don't get these in the extra releases. These are just for the first initial releases for each year. But absolutely brilliant. This was the first, but what would follow? Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will have the next yearbook that was released chronologically coming up very soon on Talking Music for a full review. That's it from me. Bye for now.